A nuclear bomb exploded on American soil. A huge mushroom cloud rose from the sea. The objects around the bomb disappear in an instant. And the people behind all this? It's AI. The story takes place in 2065. With the development of technology, robots have become a necessity in every household. As scientists are getting deeper and deeper into the study of the human brain, robots also have the ability to think independently and to feel human emotions. Even the appearance of robots can generate the appearance of humans. But the nuclear warhead accident in Los Angeles has tipped the balance. At the moment of the explosion, all of Los Angeles was reduced to rubble. Tens of millions of people died tragically in the explosion. The United States has also turned hostile to artificial intelligence. In order to protect the safety of human beings, the state has issued a decree prohibiting the use of artificial intelligence. The government has launched a nationwide campaign to clean up the robots. Only New Asia is still promoting the use of robots. They advocate the peaceful coexistence of humans and artificial intelligence. The two sides have different positions and frictions. The United States has invested heavily in building a powerful weapon ship to combat artificial intelligence. The ship was named Nomad. This ship has top-of-the-line detection systems and high-tech weapons of destruction. The weapons can be pinpointed to artificial intelligence research bases in the New Asian region. Under cover of darkness, the Nomad led a small American troop into a small fishing village in New Asia. In a position facing the sea, Joshua is having sex with his pregnant wife Maya. The happy atmosphere between them was broken by the noise coming from outside. It turns out the guards caught an American soldier. Soon Joshua realizes that they are surrounded. Joshua hurriedly arranged for his wife and the rest of the fishing village to evacuate. He'll take care of this lone American. Joshua waited for the others to leave and fired blanks. Then he asked the soldiers why the sudden attack. The soldier reluctantly said he was following orders. Apparently they're all old friends. A shootout ensued between the guard and us special forces. Joshua picked up the walkie-talkie on the soldier and exposed his identity as an undercover agent. He tried to get the leaders of the special forces to retreat, but this scene was bumped into by Maya, who had just come downstairs. The robots in the fishing village are like family to Maya. Instead of listening to Joshua, Maya insists on fleeing with the guard on a fishing boat. Joshua called to his wife with all his strength. Everything was incinerated in the missile explosion of the Nomad. Back in the United States, Joshua earns his living by collecting robots every day. Every day when he closed his eyes, he was trapped in the sweet past with Maya. 5 years of torture had made him hate the country. The robots were uniformly destroyed in the ruins of Los Angeles. Joshua's peaceful life was broken by the arrival of a general. The Americans now had an important piece of information. Benny, the genius AI designer in New Asia they've been tracking, he developed a super weapon called Alpha. It's a weapon designed specifically for the Nomad. The general had a sense of crisis. He felt that if Alpha destroyed the Nomad, it would mean the death of the United States. The general decided that Joshua, with his knowledge of the New Asian terrain, would be a good fit for the expedition, but Joshua rejected him. The general asked the female officers to show a video that is said was taken 2 days ago. Joshua watches in shock as his surviving wife and robot life snippets. Joshua took up the task. Joshua and his team quickly locate the lab with the Nomad's guidance. In order to achieve this goal, the American army used the dog's life to press the location of the entrance of the little girl. Joshua looked into the girl's eyes and sensed the direction of the entrance. He successfully led the team into the lab. They started a one-sided killing campaign against the researchers. Then they attacked the warehouse where the super weapons are stored. The robot guards came after hearing the news. A major war is imminent. More and more robots are coming. Joshua quickly ordered the rest of the team to support his teammates outside while cracking the warehouse password. Next, Joshua waits for the warehouse door to open. He plans to put beacons on the weapons to facilitate the Nomad's attack. Since the attack outside is very fierce, the soldier who cracked the code joined the gunfight after leaving behind an automatic puzzle-solving device. Joshua is the only one who has witnessed the true nature of the super weapon Alpha. Inside the warehouse was a little girl who was watching cartoons. She's a bionic person. Joshua was shocked. The woman scientist, covered in blood, arrives and fires a bullet at Joshua. The female scientist then closed the door to the arsenal and opened a safe passage for the little girl to escape. the little girl came to the ground and witnessed the robot guards fighting fiercely with the special forces in the farmland. The female officers realized that the mission had failed and decided to evacuate with the rest of the team. The Nomad battleship will bomb the land after they leave. One soldier felt he had been shot as he ran to the helicopter. She boarded the helicopter with her will to survive. It wasn't until the bomb exploded that the soldier realized he had a time bomb attached to his back. Joshua was still obsessed with finding a wife. A missile from the Nomad destroyed the entire village. He was knocked unconscious by the shock. Joshua wakes up again from a fishing boat. He found himself being watched by the little girl. The little girl mischievously threw a stone at him. Joshua finds his wounded companion through the noise of the intercom and drags him into a farmer's house. Joshua made contact with the colonel. He was taken away by the guard. As soon as he told the colonel that his secret weapon was the little girl, Joshua soon discovers in the house that the little girl can control objects with her mind. The farmer's owner rushed over with a gun to defend himself but was killed by Joshua. Joshua just took the keys. Joshua was initially disgusted by the little girl, but noticed that she had drawn a familiar pattern. Joshua quickly asks the little girl about his wife's whereabouts, but the gunfire just caught the guard's attention. Joshua had to drive away with his comrades and the little girl. Suddenly a bomb rolled next to the car. When Joshua thought he was going to be blown up, when the dog on the side saw it, he directly picked up the bomb and threw it to the guards, destroying several robots. The little girl maneuvered the car down the road with her mind. The colonel teamed up with his men to seize control of the squad car. At this time, Joshua's car broke down halfway. Joshua's comrades threatened to return to base. Joshua, who only wanted to see his wife, refused. He made the girl wear a hat and pretend to be human and named her Alfie. Joshua took Alfie and left the car. He asked the villagers for a lift. He left his buddies in the car. Soon the man was picked up by the colonel. The colonel inserted his memory chip into the body of the artificial man and learned that Joshua had taken the android away. As Joshua and his teammates shot right through the highway toll gates, Alfie shut down the entire power supply at the toll gate to cover himself up. Joshua takes Alfie safely on a journey to find a friend. Because Alfie won't tell us where Maya is, Joshua took her to find his friend Taya in the morning. He wants a friend to look into Alfie's archives. However, Joshua did not realize that he had become a wanted criminal. He blew his cover when he entered Taya's factory. Taya looked at Alfie's skull for hours and didn't know what to do. He told Joshua, Alfie is an advanced bionic man. Her powers can't grow with her body. At this time, Joshua remembered the ring Taya had given him and wanted him to help track it down. Taya's assistant took Alfie upstairs and ordered her a takeout. Alfie suddenly looked up to signal the arrival of the police. Female assistant alert took over the takeaway, but did not find anything abnormal. But the moment she closed the door, the police were already lying in wait around the room. The female assistant was blown up by a bomb inside the takeaway when she opened it. Then the police broke in. Alfie is watching TV calmly. The group prepares to take the robot away, but is ambushed by Joshua. After Joshua successfully defeated a group of people, he led Alfie and Taya to track Maya's location. The colonel was a step behind when he arrived. She also found that the ring was located in Joshua's previous marriage house. Despite Taya's many attempts to thwart Joshua, Joshua stubbornly went into the ruins to find the ring. Alfie suddenly sensed that his companions were coming over and got out of the car and came to Joshua's side. Joshua found the ring on the ground. He refused to believe Maya was dead. Suddenly Taya bursts in. He was shot from outside before he could speak. Taya finally told Joshua the secret before she died. It turns out Taya is Benny, the AI designer, and then Joshua is captured by the bionic. He realized that the bomb had gone off downtown because the U.S. military had programmed it wrong. Instead, the government blames artificial intelligence. They destroy robots and bionic people to cover up their crimes. Locked in the building, Joshua only cares about where Maya is. Bionic Harlan angrily points a gun at Joshua and warns him not to move, but Harlan ignored Alfie's existence. Joshua took advantage of Harlan's departure to get Alfie to release him. When Harlan noticed Joshua jumped into the sea, Harlan considered the potential danger too great to continue the hunt, and simply returned to the camp with Alfie as soon as possible. Joshua grabbed the decorations on the bottom of the boat and went to the camp. Joshua sneaked to land when it was dark. He unplugged Harlan's charging cable and told Alfie it was just standby, and then Joshua took Alfie away. the colonels assembled American forces then attacked the village. Alfie, who was supposed to leave with Joshua, turned around and ran back when the smoke filled the sky. Large American land tanks crushed the villagers' houses. The Nomad also aimed missiles at people. The people on the ground didn't have time to hide. What is more frightening is that the US Army also uses bomb robots to order them to run forward. The robot ran straight into the village. The guerrillas quickly raised their guns and fired. The robot walked right through the bullets into the crowd. It bombed a bunch of innocent villagers. The colonel continues to move the second bomb droid forward. It encountered obstacles from Alfie. The robot slowed down and knelt respectfully to Alfie. Alfie stroked the robot's head. Suddenly a bullet hit Alfie. Joshua, who was lying in wait, quickly pounced. He fired 2 bullets at his former comrades. The reprogrammed bomb robot detonated directly on the bridge. Joshua helped Alfie and hid aside. Harlan was a little shaken when he saw Joshua's actions. Joshua anxiously held Alfie and tried to find a way to cure her. Harlan finally gives in and covers Joshua to meet Maya, but they also let the Americans there. Joshua meets Maya at the temple. He realized at once that the American colonel had deceived him. Maya, because of the American raid, although she was rescued by the bionic man, she was in a vegetative state and lost her fetus. The bionic people couldn't bear to cut off Maya's oxygen supply system. Alfie is a bionic human based on a fetus. Her appearance was to stop the Nomad battleship from killing the androids. Because Maya was taken care of by the bionic, she has a deep passion for bionics. In the end, Harlan gave the choice to Joshua. He saw Alfie clinging to Maya and calling for her mother. Joshua had mixed feelings. In the end, he chose to set Maya free. Joshua was about to shut down Maya's oxygen supply. The colonel intervened in time to stop it. She's gonna use the device to read Maya's memories. Suddenly, Harlan appeared with a gun to stop the colonel. At the same time, 2 soldiers appeared behind him. When the 2 sides agreed to lay down their weapons during the standoff, Harlan shot the colonel. Then the soldier also raised his gun and shot Harlan to death. Alfie could not forgive the actions of the American army. Sensing that a time bomb had been attached to his back, the colonel rushed to the soldier's side. She wanted the soldiers to take the bomb down, but she was too late. Alfie manipulated the bomb with his mind and it went off. With the last of his strength, Harlan entrusted Joshua with the task of destroying the Nomad. Joshua then takes Alfie and the chip that holds Maya's memories and prepares to flee. They were surrounded by American troops. They took Alfie by force while they hailed Joshua as a hero. Joshua was sedated when he fought back. When Joshua woke up, he was brought back to the United States. He was asked to come over and force Alfie to shut down. After the shutdown, the general and they will transport Alfie to the institute. Joshua took the specific gun and walked over to Alfie. Alfie cried helplessly. Joshua quickly leaned into her ear and whispered comfort. Alfie was shot unconscious. Seeing Joshua's cooperation, the general agreed to allow him to accompany Alfie on his last trip. However, the car carrying the 2 people had just driven out. Technicians deciphered the whisper between the 2 people just now. This is just standby. The general hurriedly took action to intercept. Alfie's already in control of the cars. Vehicle rolled over directly out of control. Alfie escapes into the airport with Joshua. Fortunately, the airport has smart security check. Alfie and the others even saved on air tickets. They left here on the nearest flight. The general wants to stop all flights. Joshua's plane had already taken off. After a while, the flight attendant received a call to return. Alfie took over the plane's operating system and steered the plane close to the Nomad. Upon arrival, the stewardess quickly blocked the evacuation of unrelated passengers. Then the air marshals burst in. Joshua and Alfie lifted up the walls of the plane on both sides and waited for the police to approach. Joshua opened the hatch directly. The police were swept out of the cabin by the pressure of the air. The angry general ordered the Nomad to fire all its missiles at New Asia. Joshua directly sent the chip containing Maya's memory to Alfie as a companion. He gives Alfie the radio to communicate and encourages Alfie to run to the control room to abort the missile launch. Joshua climbs out of the plane onto a missile. Alfie also approached the control room. Alfie lowers the bulletproof glass door of the control room and stops the bomb with his mind. In an instant, all launch systems lost power. After Joshua installed the time bomb, he gave Alfie 10 minutes to escape. However, Alfie saw Maya's sim on his way to escape. She struggled to drag the sims into the garden and was exhausted. Alfie inserted the chip into the SIM to try to wake up the mother, but the SIMs didn't respond at all. Alfie only has 3 time minutes left. The missiles that have been launched are now approaching the new Asian region. Joshua was already suffering from lack of oxygen. Alfie could only give up on the simulator and quickly ran outside. Alfie drags Joshua into the airlock and goes alone to activate the escape pod. As technicians regain control, lots of robotic arms attacking Alfie. Joshua rushes to get the arm's attention. He got tangled up with the robot arm because the escape hatch is broken. Joshua was locked out for it. The Nomad's missiles have been detonated. He gave Alfie away after expressing his love for the child. Joshua calmly accepts his death when he meets the awakened Mayan bionic man. Finally, the lovers embrace and kiss. They disappeared with the sinful Nomad. The missiles that were successfully launched failed instantly. The people of New Asia smiled with relief at the scattered pieces of the Nomad, and Alfie has done her part. Upon landing, she was overwhelmed by the joy of everyone. And a film. AI Creator is a rare film with an original science fiction story. The film shows everyone the urban-rural integrated version of cyber style. The footage is full of elaborate special effects that look incredibly realistic. Male Master Joshua's mental journey also shows a very three-dimensional fullness. On the whole, I personally think the film is excellent. Well, that's all for today's video. I'll see you next time.